Okay, I think I'm streaming. Welcome in. Let me check my audio. All right, perfect. I can hear my own audio. That's good. All right, next, let me go ahead and send my own Discord message. Okay. Welcome in. I see Feldon Kane was in early. And then Chan the Magic Man, welcome in. How's it going, Chan? Charlie's Beats, welcome in. Charlie's Beats. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody's doing well. I have a bunch of stories to tell today. So if everybody wants the I went to a magic lecture. Garrett Thomas was the magician who was doing the lecture. And then I also had my first grown-up adult birthday party magic gig last night, and that was Harry Potter themed. So, and we'll be talking about those. I'm also going to be talking about Facebook Marketplace because, yeah, we'll talk about Facebook Marketplace in a little bit. You're a wizard, Dom. Thank you, Felt. Andrew Ward, thank you kindly for the Prime resub for 15 months. Andrew Ward, welcome in. Thank you kindly. I'm actually putting on my cheating gloves right now. And I know Feldon Kane was trying to channel Harry Potter. You're a wizard, Harry. Right. Oh, good timing then. Thank you for the shout out, Chan. Yes, Chan, thank you kindly for shouting out everybody and all of our friends. So, guys, you're not following. Let's see, where are we? If you're not shouting, if you're not following our friend Charlie's Beats, please give Charlie's Beats a follow. If you're not following our friend Feldon Kane, please give Feldon Kane a follow. Guys, if you're not following our friend and mod Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. And everybody follow everybody. Everybody is cool. All right, so first things first. Andrew Ward, thank you so much for the resub. Let's go ahead and pull out the Twitch deck and find the Andrew War card. Let's see. Andrew War, two of diamonds. Here we. What? Ice Flame X, thank you so much for the resub. Oh my God! I literally just got my cheating gloves on. Thank you so much for the. Wait, are those gift subs? Resub. Oh, okay. Ice Flame X, thank you so much for the resub. Greatly appreciate it. For 22 months. Malhaku, thank you so much for the resub for 11 months. Holy crap. Thank you so much, Malhaku. Alright, so if you guys didn't know, Feldon Kane, thank you so much for the 100 bits. When we get a hype train here, I'm going to have to basically just do magic as fast as possible until the hype train's over. So, alright, first things first. Guys, I just did a Harry Potter gig, so we're going to do these Harry Potter style as much as I can remember. Alright, so here we go. Guys, we have 3 of diamonds. So look, if I go ahead and put the 3 of diamonds here into the middle of the deck, this is actually losing the student in the middle of the class, and they're learning their basic spells. In the first year of Hogwarts, they are going to learn the spell Wingardium Leviosa, and that will bring the card, in this case the 3 of diamonds, back up to the top. Now, when I was doing this for the gig the other day, or yesterday, I had everybody chant Wingardium Leviosa, and that would actually bring it to the top, because, here we go. Now, I would tell them, wait, don't cast the spell yet. See, look, I'm going to put it back in the middle, but we're going to go ahead and turn it face up. But no, that's not their card. That's not until they cast the spell. Wingardium Leviosa. Whoa! And if we show you, there it is. Now, some people think that in order to cast the spell, you have to actually say the words out loud. Well, you can actually whisper it, right, very quietly. So look, I'll show you that that's still the 3 of diamonds. We'll put it into the middle of this packet. We'll put it in the middle of this packet. And if I show you, we're not hiding the card here. GipsonLens, welcome in. How's it going? BayJMB, welcome in. How's it going? That's not there either. But Wingardium Leviosa, and that should actually bring our 3 of diamonds back up to the top. Now, so one of my tricks that I did not do yesterday, which is one of the ones that I normally default to, is twisting the. So let's go ahead and do that one. So let's go ahead and do that. So look, I have all 4 threes. That is going to be a tongue twister. But look, I want to turn them all face up, 1 card at a time. But if I turn them all like that, that's cheating because I'm a magician. So we should be able to do it a little bit more magically. So hold the packet, give it a magical twist. That magical twist should turn up one of the threes, in this case, the 3 of hearts. Now, I'm going to hold the packet, give it another magical twist, and that magical twist should turn the 3 of hearts face down. 3 of clubs should turn face up. And it's a little bit weird, but... Is that weird? That's super weird, right? There was actually a funny joke yesterday where they were like, man, after the magician does some magic that's like mind-blowing, he's like, oh, that's weird, right? And I'm like, yeah, if you just see it every day, it's just a weird thing, right? It's not like, you know, it's miraculous. But that's going to turn up 3 of diamonds. 3 of diamonds, there we go. We have one more, the 3 of spades. We will have to turn it face up, but it's very rude and it doesn't want to do that. So, oh look, everything's face down. Actually, even if I give it 1 magical twist, it still doesn't want to turn face up. But actually, 2 more. No, and it doesn't. It doesn't want to listen to me. You know why? Because the Twitch deck did... Oh. Bayjambi, thank you so much for the gift sub. Greatly appreciate it. Holy crap. Oh, Alstroart, welcome, and thank you so much for 25 bits. Charlie's Beats, thank you for the 5 stream streak. Actually, let me just... And, but here, show you that 3 of spades has turned itself face up. Now, there was another trick that I did not do yesterday that may have actually turned out very well, but you know what? We can use the 3s again. So here, what I'm going to do is we are going to take, actually to demonstrate this a little bit, if I was to hold the cards like this and give them a shake, one of the 3 should turn face up. Okay, so let's go ahead and hold the packet, give it a shake, and actually this will reveal the 3 of spades. Now, everything's still face down, but if I hold the packet, give it a shake, that shake should actually turn up another 3, in this case the 3 of hearts. Now, we have all 4 cards face down, but if I just go ahead and hold the packet, give it a shake, and that, welcome in the Rusty Panda, how's it going? That will actually turn up 3 of clubs. Oh, now all the sound alerts gonna trigger. Thank you so much for all the support, everybody. Holy crap, this is insane. All right. So now we have every card still facing. I see the hype train still going because we're at level 2. So I'm gonna keep on going. There won't be as much epic music, but if you like the epic music, that was GipsonLens's original Expanse. But look, I'm gonna hold the packet, give it a little bit of a shake. I actually mixed that together from 2 different versions of Expanse. But anyway, here we go. I don't know if you see that 3 of diamonds has turned itself face. Now, some people are like, hey, how do you do that trick? And I'm like, no, that's just how you use 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and you shake them like this. And actually, well, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to show you that there's nothing face up in the deck, but if I just go ahead and I cut the 3s into the middle of the deck and I shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. I don't know if you can tell, but look, now all of those 3s have turned face up. Because those 3s decided that they need to be face up when you shake them up. I don't know where that came from. And that, my friends, is, we'll call that a successful hype train. I think the hype train's over now, right? Okay. So, anyway, sorry for the premature magiculation, but I saw an ad, got mad, and accidentally started a movement, or at least I'm taking credit for kicking it off. Andrew Ward, thank you so much for, I mean, so when you resubbed, then hopefully you could have refreshed and then you wouldn't have had to see the ads. But anyway, thank you so much. But yes, you kicked off. So let me go ahead and thank everybody, actually. So while we're here, let's see here. So thank you kindly for the resub. Andrew War, Iced Flame X. Let's see. Malhaku. Hang on. Where is it? Oh, right here. Maliku. All right. Let's see here. I absolutely refreshed to kill the ad. Yes, I'm glad you killed the ad. But yeah, no worries for the premature magiculation. Nobody will get angry at you for that here. Um, let's see. Where were we? Oh, yes. Feldenkane, thank you so much for the 100 bits. I know Feldenkane has signed one as well. Hold on. Feldenkane. See, Charlie's Beats has reached a 5-stream streak. Charlie's Beats has signed the Ace of Spades. At this point in my Magic career, anybody who signs the Ace of Spades for a stream, I'm almost certain I will have to remember every single deck who that is. Because although when I switch over decks, if Charlie doesn't sign it, that's going to mess me up real bad. Bay JMB, thank you so much for the gift sub. I know Bay has signed one as well. Bay JMB, there we go. Okay, let's see here. And did I forget anybody? I think that was everybody, right? Andrew War, Ice Flame X, Malhaku, Feldenkane. Oh, Elstro Art did a gigantic emote, right? Hold on. Elstro Art. Ads. Not for this, guys, says Andrew. Alstro Art did a gigantic emote. Bay JMV did a community gift sub. All right. And all right, cool. Thank you guys for the support today. Greatly appreciate it. I did not expect that right immediately. Good thing I was actually putting on the cheating gloves just as stream was starting. I basically just say, all right, start streaming, check my audio, and then put on cheating gloves. So I see my card. Oh yes, that's right. The Rusty Panda. Where are you? There, the Rusty Panda. There, there you go. Oh, want to see something both and cool and completely on brand for me? Says Malhaku. I'm down. Mike 2600 says I see my card. Yes, Mike 26 right there. Welcome in, Mike 2600. I think you would probably enjoy listening in on today's stream because the two big things that I want to talk about. The first one is a lecture from acclaimed magician Garrett Thomas. So give us recaps. And then the second one is I did my first adult magic gig last night. And yeah, we're definitely going to recap those. So let me hop up here. Please and thank you, says Malhaku. Malhaku virus? Dude! That. Wait a second. I'm not following you, Malhaku. Have you streamed? Are you streaming, Malhaku? Hold on. Because if you are streaming. A little? Okay, alright. Guys, if anybody wants that sweet, sweet Dr. Mario virus, definitely follow our friend Malhaku. If you ever see him playing Dr. Mario, you need to watch Malhaku. I hit affiliate just last weekend. Dude, congratulations. Holy crap. How have I not known that you were streaming? All right. Mike 2600 says NC-17 Magic Gig. No, no. This was a very. I mean, everybody was an adult at the party, but I mean, in the fact that everybody was just. There were no kids at the party. To Mike 2600. Mike 2600, you better behave yourself. I'm watching you. Don't make us ban you. Ban Mike 2600. All right. All right. But yeah, Maliku, that's a big deal. Yeah, congratulations. And yeah, absolutely. If you ever just if you're in my you're in my Discord, right? Yeah. If you're ever going live, you can just drop it. Hopefully some friends will want to hop in. Let us know. I'm kidding, Mike. I mean, that's just a command. We're just, I mean, you know commands, Mike. So, will do. Awesome. Cool. All right. First things first. Let's talk about new emote from the hype. Oh, Bay JMB. Oh yeah, that one's sweet. Who is this diva? Do I have that one? I think I do. Wait. Don't tell me I don't have that one. Oh no, I do. Okay. All right. Bam. All right. Cool. Where was I? Oh yeah. I'm listening, but I'm getting ready for bed. The Rusty Panda. I totally understand if you need to go to bed. I get it. I do this very late on a Sunday night. So, but thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you're doing well. Oh, and if we haven't given a shout out for our friend and mod, the Rusty Panda. Actually, the Rusty Panda could also shout the Rusty Panda out if you would like. No. So, first things first. Oh, actually, you know what? I do see a request in the queue, and that is a quick one. So I'll do that first, and then we will talk about Garrett Thomas lecture. So I actually did this during the Harry Potter gig last night. Chan already did, and thank you. All right, awesome. Thanks, Chan. Okay, so I did this for the gig last night, and it did blow them away. I did use patter related to reflections used in Harry Potter, like, for example, Sirius Black's mirror for reflection. So, anyway, we've got a 6 of diamonds, a queen of clubs, and then here is a bunch of other cards that's going to represent the mirror. And so if you look at them from this side, the mirror will look pretty much like a normal mirror. But if you turn the mirror around, you'll see the same thing on both sides of the mirror. I know, it's very strange. But actually, it's not exactly the same because there are some small differences with the mirror. Now, if I could just go ahead and I show you that when we take the mirror and reflect it over something, I don't know if you can tell, but look, the reflection will show up in the mirror but multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Now, that might be strange, but when you take the mirror and reflect it across something else, that will also make it change. Because I don't know if you can tell, but now when you look in the mirror, you'll just see multiple images of the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4 different images. Now you can still see this image that was reflected a little bit still lingering, but when we try and reflect maybe another mirror or something blank, something changes. And it's not until we truly see in the mirror that there's nothing. And when you try and look at it from the front, it looks like a normal mirror, and when you try and look at it from the back, it looks like a normal mirror. And that, my friends, is Dazed, themed as a mirror, or a reflective mirror. Thanks for clearing that, Chan, and thank you for that request. Hopefully you enjoyed. And yeah, I did change up the pattern a little bit compared to normal, but also I did not do it as a finale, so that's different. Okay, cool. Good thing, by the way, that I checked this trick, because when I was about to do it, I was like, hold on, let me just check the trick, and I didn't actually put it away the correct way last time I did on stream. So when I was at the gig, I'm like, hold on, I had to tuck everything under the table quickly set it up and get it back into correct position. Luckily, I knew what it was. I didn't have to look it up or anything, so that was a nice save. Nice save by Nam. Okay. Thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, Felden Kane. All right, so first things first, let's talk about Garrett Thomas. So this past week on Tuesday, we had a magician, world-class magician named Garrett Thomas. If you haven't heard of him, he's been on Fool Us. He did ring tricks, and then he's created a bunch of tricks himself, including one of his very prominent effects. It's called Stand Up Monty, and I don't do it here, but I did get the stuff to be able to do it, but I don't think I'll be doing it on stream, even if I learn it well, because I just out of respect for him, I'll just be doing it probably in real life at real gigs. But after the entire lecture, I did get his lecture notes because it's more relevant now that I'm doing real gigs, live gigs, and basically it is his lecture notes to deal with problem people. We're not really going to delve into this because there is basically like a disclaimer in it that says, don't teach or share or give away any of the things in here. It's for you and to do with, people at live gigs for live performance. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I just thumbed through it, and basically there's a bunch of tricks or techniques to deal with problem people as part of like examples for how to deal with them and solutions. And I'm like, okay, that's very, very good. And he's been a practicing magician for a very long time, so he's got a lot of years and live experience. So this is going to be very valuable for me, I think, as I do more live gigs. All right. And then I took 3 pages. All right, hopefully we can't read the... So there's 1, okay, 2, 3. All right, it's too bright for you guys to see. But yeah, I took 3 pages of notes. So one of the things that Garrett does, and I had met him years ago when he came to visit a local restaurant here because he was meeting up with one of our other magic friends. And I don't think he remembered me, but I certainly remembered him. And one of the gags that he did is he took an 8-ball, like a billiard 8-ball, out of his flat wallet. Yep. And and of course, as he does when he's done with it, he puts the 8-ball back into his flat wallet and then puts the wallet away in his pocket. And I don't know exactly how it's done. I mean, I can guess, but it looks so good regardless. And I'm just like, what? And then seeing it again the second time, and I'm like, no. It's like he has a mysterious dimensional portal somewhere, like this, where he's hiding this 8-ball. That's literally what he's got. Okay, Stand Up Monty, and then he does make some jokes about another kind of trick. So there's a trick that I don't do that much. I've done it a few times, but it's a trick where 2 people sign a card, 2 people sign cards in the deck, and then later those cards merge together. If that's it's called Anniversary Waltz. So if you end up seeing that, that's... But we learned a little bit about his thoughts from that. He did talk about if you're doing magic for, like, you want fame and money, doing close-up magic, basically what I'm doing, is not the way to get fame and money. If you want fame and money, you go do stage magic. And then if you want magic to be like a gift that you give someone, like it's a gift of connection, it is a gift of wonder, it is the ability to connect with people on like a personal level, then you do close-up magic, which is basically what I do. And especially like if you do tricks where it's like conversational, like I did not realize how many of the tricks that I do when I do on stream, it's way less personable now that I know what I'm doing than like compared to when I first started. Because last night's gig, I think everybody had a great time, including me, and every trick I did was basically almost audience like interactive, and I'm just like, wow, this is so cool. Like, it felt so good. Let's see what else. So, oh, for anybody who doesn't know what like a magic lecture is, so what happens is we get magicians coming to lecture. You attend, they'll typically show a trick, and then they will explain, effectively teach how the trick is done. So it's not too different from like my introduction to sleight of hand that I did at the library the other week, but it's just amped up for magicians. So it's like this is how much thought they put into it. This is like the crazy way that they achieve the magical effect. This is how much time and effort they put into it. And so he talks about another trick called the hanging coins. So basically, you have three coins, and you grab each one of them, and then you invisibly hang them on like invisible string in front of you. And then as you pull them off, you make them appear again, and it looks really nice. And I'm like, I'm not ready for that level of coin magic commitment, but um, it was really cool. And that was just kind of a small portion of his lecture. He goes on to talk about several different things that inspired the other, and I won't be doing these, but it was very insightful. But I'm going to tell you the names of the tricks because I mean I don't hide the names of tricks on my channel, so because obviously you can request them and you see the creator's name. But there's an easy version of the two card Monty. That was something that he had seen in Anniversary Waltz, and it inspired Stand Up Monty. So I think that would be an interesting note, probably for the magicians. So Mike 2600 and Chan, probably, and any of the other magicians that I know, maybe Astro Art. Um, so that was an interesting note. We learned a couple of actual psychology, neuroscience things, which, if you're in my Discord channel, you know that I have a neuroscience channel. So but like these are the types of things like misdirection and like deception. I'm not going to reveal it here, but if anybody is curious, like Mike 2600, if you want to ask me about it later, I can tell you offline. E-room, welcome in. How's it going, E-room? Thanks for the bang, guys. If you're not following our friend E-room, please give E-room a follow. Hi Nam, hi E-room, welcome in. How you doing? All right. So, um, okay. I do have another note here just for magicians, but I won't share that on stream. Oh, and let's see here. Bay JB asks, "Have you seen any of the Black Friday deals on Magic stuff?" Um, Bay JB, the answer is yes, I have. I've already put in my Vanishing Ink order for this year. I mean, unless they reveal some more stuff that I might show, but I'm actually getting two books that I wanted, and then I'm getting like two tricks, basically. So hopefully I'll get them in the next week or so. And then I did put in another order to Amazon, but I like half of it was like magic stuff and half of it was like stuff that my family needed around the house. So they were like, "Oh, it's cheaper now. Let's go get that." Mike 2600 asks, "What books slash tricks?" Um, the books. One of them is actually I think I alluded to it in our chat, but one of them was The Approach. Like all of my magic friends basically recommend getting The Approach. The Approach is like a book for someone who has never done magic gigs before but wants to get into doing magic gigs. And I'm like, well, I mean, I've done a few, but like I'm getting there, so I'm like probably more relevant now than ever. Oh yeah, this is Mike 2600. I started reading that one. Okay, so yeah, The Approach, and then the other one is it's like a it's a magic it's a card it's strictly a card magic book by Tobias. I forgot what it's called, but I think if you just look for like Tobias card magic book, it's like the only one. BayJB asks, "Oh, I haven't heard on the approach." Oh, okay, yeah. So it's like one of the most prominent books. If you looked on Vanishing Ink, it was like the top-selling book when Black Friday started because it was literally half price. Most of the books were like maybe 10% off to 20% off. This one was 50% off, and I'm like, okay, this is the universe telling me I need to purchase the approach. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Modular card magic. Yes, that's correct. Yep. I got that one. I got modular card magic, or at least that. Yeah, I ordered that, so that's coming. Because as you guys know, I do a lot of card magic, so learning modular card magic would probably be beneficial. Apparently, it's also a lot of hard stuff, and I'm like, all right, I could push myself to do hard card magic because that's mostly what I'm doing now. But from what I'm told, I read some reviews, listened to some people. Nobody else in my like magic friend circle knew anything about it, so I was like, all right, I guess if anybody's gonna get this book for our group locally, it's probably gonna be me. So I got that. All right, let's see here. Oh, um, I probably shouldn't. So this is a secret, guys. Shh. So Garrett Thomas has created a trick called Stand Up Monty. He's going to be having a Kickstarter for a version of it soon. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't even know what I'm at liberty to say. But if you're curious and interested, um, go follow Garrett Thomas's like social media and just watch for a Kickstarter starting at some point. And then see if you're interested. The good news is that I was able to get some of the toys from the Kickstarter. Not all of like the instructional material and like videos and downloads and stuff. Those were not available yet. But he was like, if you want to play with the toys, we have the limited toys printed for the stuff. And so I got some of that, and basically we're just waiting. I'm just waiting for the Kickstarter to get started, and then hopefully all of the instructional material will be ready at that point. So, Bay JB says, I might have put in my biggest penguin order yesterday. I was looking through penguin stuff, and I couldn't find as much stuff as I thought I was going to find. And honestly, like the last few years, like right after pandemic, they were throwing in so many new things between Penguin and Vanishing Ink. But I think actually, if you guys didn't know, Vanishing Ink, their major warehouse suffered a gigantic warehouse fire. Last was it last year or 2 years ago? It was basically in the last 2 years, and they basically lost a lot of physical product. And so I kind of felt bad. And so if they didn't offer that much stuff for Black Friday this year, I mean, I can understand because they probably don't have that much physical stuff. Um, but if there's any magicians out there who doesn't know about Vanishing Ink and you want to purchase like knowledge, like between Vanishing Ink and Penguin, they both just have lots of videos, tutorials, master classes, that kind of stuff. Like, and Black Friday is usually the best time to get it. If you're not going to perform, it's probably not cost effective and worth it for you to do it. But if you're a magician and you perform, like, this is like one of the best times of year. Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag, those are the two biggest probably magic retailers in the United States. So, Bay JB, Vanishing definitely has some of the best books. The other thing is that, yeah, Vanishing actually has a lot of repertoire for bringing books back or like reprinting books that weren't available or just publishing, and it is just published under the Vanishing Ink name. So, and probably the most exclusives. Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's what, yep. That is absolutely correct, Bay JMB. Okay, let's see here. Um, okay, we talked about the problem people, the lecture notes. Oh, I didn't show you this, but Garrett actually signed his name up top here. And so if you see this way, it says Garrett. And then if you turn it upside down, it says Thomas. And so he's learned how to just write his name this way. And he does use the signature. So that's a really cool thing. Actually, let me see if I can. It'll probably be easy. So yeah, Garrett. And then we'll turn it upside down. Thomas. Whoa, dope! That is slick. Yeah, I know, right? So I've seen him write this on this. I've seen him write it on a card as like a reveal. And then I think Mike and I talked about something offline where we were talking about spelling things with a deck of cards, right, Mike? So wait, that's actually amazing. Yeah, I know, right? It's really cool. So Garrett Thomas, it's pretty cool. Let's see here. And also, I did not know of another magician. So Garrett Thomas didn't come solo. He actually arrived with another, from what I'm told, world-class magician. I was not familiar with Matthew Beach. Beach is B-I-C-H. He's French. Matthew spelled the French way. But apparently they're both like very similar in terms of like magic. I don't want to say upbringing in that they do the things the same way. They like a lot of the same tricks and effects, and they have the same philosophy of magic, but they solve the magic in multiple different ways. Yeah, Alistair Art says Beach is on OG. I didn't know that. That's cool. Um, but yeah, so the I did buy something, and I'm not ready to perform with it. But if you guys want to see maybe a prelude to something that will come later, I bought myself a little plunger from Matthew Beach. And so one day I might be able to use the plunger with the deck of cards, and you'll see the plunger come out. And actually, if the plunger is very popular, perhaps we'll make it an emote. But yes, if you've seen other card magicians use a plunger, the plunger is very magical. Um, but yeah, he teaches so many things. Oh yeah, so the big thing is like they solve their magic two different ways, but they both love the same stuff. They love hanging out. They're like best friends, or maybe not like best friends, but they're like very good magic friends. Um, and so yeah, but Matthew Beach, I will have to admit, he is very clever in how he solves problems. The way that he explained like several different things. He explained an unshuffled effect, which was something that was done by Paul Gertner on Fool Us, and Matt did something crazy different, and I'm like, oh my god, that is brilliant when he revealed it. He did something called a shadow illusion, and this is like a 3D print. So this is just a cool visual. It's not so much magic, but like imagine an object that when you shine a light on it, it will make one image. You rotate it, it will make another image. You rotate it again, it's a third different image. It's as though they could be three different messages. They could, and conceptually, because of how like it's 3 dimensions, right? So we could actually see how that happens. But he actually had like I forgot, it was like a little logo or something. It changed to a man's face, like a profile, and then it changed to Batman's profile. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Love the tiny plunger, says Bay JMB. And then let's see. And then we got a version of Torn and Restored to Impossible Object. And I was like, no. And I'm trying to think, oh, he would have had to do something this, and then when he revealed, I'm like, oh, that's way more clever and simple than I was thinking, and I'm like, I'm overcomplicating things. I don't know how to do torn and restored tricks. I even tried to do one on stream once. It didn't turn out very well. Let's see. And then, oh yeah, and then the plunger. I showed you the plunger. And then after that, we came back to Garrett Thomas to wrap up. So normally a lot of lectures are like an hour. I think they lectured for basically maybe 2.5 hours. So we got a lot more bonus content, I would say. And let's see what else. We did explain some. Oh, hold on. Is that on this? Let me see. Hold on. I just gotta check for a Garrett Thomas logo. No, I don't currently have it, but he does. Garrett Thomas talks about how you can see something that isn't there just by framing it correctly, and his logo kind of describes this. But I'll get into that another time. I don't want to like not give a visual for it because it doesn't really make any sense. And then we have a trick called coins across, which if anybody has seen a magician do coins across, basically you have a spectator hold a bunch of coins, and then a coin jumps from their hand to your hand to the magician's hand. And you basically do that for the first coin, then the second coin, then the third coin, and so on. But there was a lot of good insights in how he talked about the presentation for coins across that I wouldn't have. I mean, I think I could have thought about it, but I just hadn't thought about it before because I don't normally do coin magic. So, Keo Demon, welcome in. Thank you so much for the Final Fantasy VII fanfare. Hopefully you're doing well. Good to see you. Guys, you're not following our friend Keo Demon. Please give Keo Demon a follow. Let's see. Where was I? But yeah, one key thing I will mention, like connecting your body language and gesticulating, that was a fanciful word that I'm like, I haven't heard that word in like 6 years. But, as part of your presentation. And then, so we were about to wrap up, but then one of the audience members asked, "Hey, can you tell us a little bit about your ring performance on Fool Us?" And he did, and I was like, so his initial conception of trying to do stuff with the ring was because he liked thimble magic. But actually, modern days, you don't see a thimble much anymore because very few people are hand sewing. Everybody's like using a sewing machine. By the way, if you hand sew anything at home to repair stuff, please put a 1 in chat because I want to know who's sewing things at home to repair. I think a lot of people, especially in modern day, we just kind of replace clothes when they rip, right? And I'm just like, but it's such a important skill to like, save garments. And then also it's kind of important if you like arts and crafts as far as like the magic stuff is going. Not general. I mean, this will also apply for general arts and crafts, but there's this term that we use for in magic for arts and crafts. Wink if you. All right, Malhaku. Yeah. Oh yeah, I had a sense that Malhaku probably so. E-room probably so. Alstro art. Okay, does not mend. But yeah, so that was. But yeah, thimble magic was the thing that inspired him to like do ring magic because he was like, oh, how can I do ring magic? It's like, sorry, how can I do thimble magic? Oh, just use the ring. And so Malhaku says, also learning to use a sewing machine is a great skill, and learning the basics is not hard. No, it's like, I feel like learning a lot of skills, like just the basic version or just like a simple workable version, anybody can do. It's just a matter of like, and like sewing machines are a little bit pricier. I mean, you could probably get them for relatively affordable now, but I mean, the barrier to entry for just getting like some sewing needles and thread is like you could probably get them for free. Like if you just hunt around for a bit, right? But yeah, so fun story before I move on to the next stuff. But I'm part of this group where people exchange stuff. We call it like the buy nothing group. But the goal is like, when you're done with stuff, give it away to people who might want it. Avoid putting stuff in the landfill. I once got it's a huge what do they call them? It's a big fluffy thing. Squishmallows, right? This one was a jumbo Grogu. If anybody doesn't know what Grogu is, it's probably more commonly called Baby Yoda. But I got like it was like a 2 foot tall Grogu, and when I got it, I'm like, wow, this looks like it's a pretty good shape. And I turned it over, and it looked like the almost the butt had been ripped apart, and I don't know if they had a dog or anything. It didn't look like grubby, so it might have just ripped like over time. And I'm like, is this why they got it? Real science says Hellshow art. That's right. And I'm like, this is fine. Let me just sew this. So then I just spent like 20 minutes. It was kind of a long tear. It was like this big, but I just sewed it up. If I remember, I can take a picture of its of its butt and I'll bring it to stream sometime. I cannot believe I said the words. I will take a picture of its butt, implying Grogu's butt, and I'll show that stream. But anyway, I think I did a pretty good job, and my kid has like jumped on it, stomped on it, and Grogu's butt has been maintained. I cannot believe I said those words. Anyway, it's perfectly. You've heard of Baby Yoda. Here's Butt Yoda. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, alright. Next up, oh yeah, let me go on the quick tangent of Facebook Marketplace. So, I did have some stuff that I was like, I want to get rid of, but I'm like, it still has some value. Maybe I don't want to give it away. Let me see if we can make a few bucks. I had a few board games. I went to my local game store. I gave them the board games, got some store credit. That was cool. I had some stuff that I'm like, if only, even if I could just get $5 for this. And so I will let you know that I've had 2 transactions on Facebook Marketplace. Actually, no, that's a lie. 1 transaction on Facebook Marketplace. But I would say the worst and the best experiences all in one day of Facebook Marketplace. Um, so I was trying to sell I recently came into like some DVDs and video games and stuff that I'm like, all right, I don't need this. It's a duplicate, or I had an Xbox. I don't have an Xbox, so I don't need this game. So I'm trying to sell um, Kiki's Delivery Service on DVD, and I'm like, I already have it on Blu-ray. I don't need it. So I'm like, all right, I'd rather just give this a good home, but I don't want to like give it away for free because they might just trash it. I'm like, somebody who will pay $5 for it, that'll probably be a good home because they'll be like, oh, that's a good deal. I gotta go get it. So Kiki's Delivery Service. A guy messages me and he's like, "Perfect movie." He says, "Oh, sorry, not sorry. Did I say Kiki's Delivery Service? I meant My Neighbor Totoro. I mean, in which case I do own both. I didn't need them both, but My Neighbor Totoro was actually the DVD that was perfect. Also, perfect movie. All right, okay, cool, awesome. Anyway, so this guy messages me and he's like, "Hey, you still have it?" I'm like, "Yeah." You want it? He's like, "Yeah." Okay, and I'm like, all right, I live on this side of town. Where are you coming from? He's like, all right, this, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm either gonna do this or I can be at this place because I'm planning on being over there for like an hour. So the next day, I go travel to do my thing, and I'm like, hey, I'm in the parking lot. Hey, I'm in Dave and Buster's because that's where I was hanging out for like an hour, and then he was like, after I've been playing like dance games for like 20 minutes, he messages back and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I totally forgot about it." And I'm like, "Man, rude." Because if he could, I even sent a message that I was on my way, like probably about 15 minutes before I left, and it would have been nice if that was the only thing that I was doing. It would have been a waste of my time because it's like 15 minutes out. So, but anyway, so I was like, fine, not a big deal because I had received another message that somebody else was interested. Well, that person ended up being like, okay, oh yeah, I'm still interested, but I can't come pick it up because I've got the flu. Let me see if I can get somebody to come pick it up. And then he was like, oh yeah, I got somebody to come pick it up. And I'm like, all right, I'll be here after 8 p.m. because I'm busy before that. And he was like, oh, okay, we can't make it out tonight. And I'm like, okay, how about here's my open windows in the next 2 days. And today was and he didn't message back. And I was just like, dude, come on. Like, so that was the bad experience. The good one was somebody wanted an Xbox game that I got. It was like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And I was like, hey, do you want, he was like, hey, do you have this game still available? I'm like, yes. And I'm like, okay, here, meet me at this place after 8 p.m. Once again, it was on the busy day. Um, and we basically showed up. We were both good communication. We basically turned into the parking lot almost at the same time. And then I was like, okay, here, $5. He's like, man, I love these games. And I'm like, so did I, but I don't have an Xbox. But I'm glad I could give it a good home. And then, he's like, I don't have. Do you have change or Venmo? And I'm like, yeah, Venmo. I'm like, okay. And then gave me my money and parted ways. That was the most pleasant Facebook Marketplace. It was like, and went home. Like I was probably out of my because it's very close to my house. It was like out of my house for like maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. So I'm like, okay, perfect. All right, cool. All right. I know that sometimes people are here to also watch magic. So if anybody wants to request any magic, the queue is open. Feel free to make any requests. Um, but I also want to talk about my gig that I had last night. And this, actually, before we talk about the gig, let me talk about how I prepared for the gig. So, what did I do? I have only seen, so I've not read really any of the books. I read like most of the first book, but I didn't finish it, of Harry Potter. And I've seen the first like 5 Harry Potter movies, but I hadn't seen the rest. So I sat down with ChatGPT Did you read every Harry Potter? No, no. So I sat down with ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT, all right, give me a list of things that are very, I would say, how do I phrase it? It was like critical characters, magical items, or like magical events or scenes in each movie. And I did go through all 8 movies, and I made I made a document, of course, and I chose different themes for different tricks. You guys saw one of them during the hype train. So the ambitious card routine, I had Wingardium Leviosa. So I had everybody chant Wingardium Leviosa. And then when I was actually at the gig, I did tap into this list quite a bit, but a bunch of ideas that I came up with. Um, Doing the 2 card Monty and having people cast the spell Expelliarmus, which is the one that makes something vanish or disappear from somebody's hand. I think it was like a wand, right? It gets dispelled from somebody's hand. Um, I came up with the thing for the Harry Potter letters from Hogwarts. You know, like at the beginning of the first movie, where like he just keeps on getting letters because his extended family won't let him open the letters. um, I came up with one that I ended up abandoning because everybody was doing fine when I did the gig for this. But the 3 card trick, I planned on making it about Harry, Ron, and Hermione, but then I didn't need to. Basically, when I got there, I did do the coin matrix like the way that I do it here. So I did the regular coin matrix, and then I followed it up with the cardless coin matrix. So that was a little bit interesting based on um, the table that I was sitting at. But I did the invisibility cloak as the invisible palm. So when I did the invisible palm, I basically just said, "Hey, my hand has an invisibility cloak on it, and look, the card is there, but you just couldn't see it because of the invisibility cloak." And that worked out. They liked that one. I did do a trick called lie detector. I can't really do that here because I'd need like the other person to try and lie to me, and then I kind of play off of them. But I came up with like Veritaserum, which is like the truth serum that exists in Harry Potter. I didn't have to use that. I did use Sorting Hat actually for the trick Family Unit. I may even just want to show that actually. So let's go ahead and do. Let me see. I'll at least put it into the queue because I thought that this one turned out amazing. And then I could do a similar thing with the Sorting Hat with oil and water because the colors separate. So I basically used good guys, bad guys. So Hufflepuff and Gryffindor as like red, and then Slytherin and Ravenclaw. Even though like Ravenclaw is kind of like more ambiguous, like it's not necessarily good or bad, but I just had to group it for the purposes of the trick. So Alstro Art says just redo the entire gig for stream. Alstro Art. Good news, bad news. Good news. Basically as soon as I got home yesterday, I did try and recollect like all of the tricks that I did, um, and I have that documented. So that's the good news. The bad news is I don't think we're gonna have time, and because of the level of interaction that I needed for some of the tricks, I certainly can't do everything, but I can certainly do some of this stuff. What else? I came up with. I did do Dazed with the two-way mirror, so I actually did a similar version for the gig. So you saw that one already. I came up with another one for Liquid Luck. There's this potion that called Felix Felicis. Now I didn't see this movie because I think that shows up in one of the last movies, and but ChatGPT told me all about it. I'm like, okay, all right, so that could work. I ended up not doing that trick. Um, but then also I came up with a version of the vampire card trick where it's people trying to put Fluffy to sleep. You know, the three-headed dog of the Cerberus. Didn't use that. I ended up using Traveling Man as a trick that's in the trick list, and I did the vanishing cabinet. So it's like a cabinet in Harry Potter where if you enter this cabinet, you disappear from it, but then you appear over here at this cabinet. And same thing, vice versa. You enter this cabinet, you disappear from this cabinet, you enter, and you come back into this cabinet. So that was actually perfect for Traveling Man. I tried to predict a card, and I threw in the magician fails the first time, and then successfully pulls it out. And it's like, whoa, there's no way he could have done that without without real magic, right? So that one was nice as well. I came up with something for my polarization of light, but I ended up not using it. I came up with a golden snitch thing for Quidditch. I didn't use that one. I came up with a Prisoner of Azkaban time travel thing for Reset. I didn't do that. Um, let's see here. I did do this other trick, Ace on top, that's in the trick list, but like I didn't have to use my Harry Potter thing. I was like, the Elder Wand is always unbeatable, and I'm just like, okay, I didn't know how to work that in, but because I hadn't seen any of the movies with the Elder Wand in it, so. Okay, so jumping to the actual. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me do this trick, the family unit one, and then we will jump into actually doing the gig. But yeah, this was all the preparation that I did going into the gig. So I have a document basically has tricks and like what Harry Potter thing I could like theme it as. And then and some other tricks where I was like if I needed more material for whatever reason, and then some other ideas that sounded cool but I couldn't think of a trick that fits into it. And then I have my actual at the bottom. So we'll do that in a minute. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and and you know what? And I didn't have to do this. I had a stash of stuff in my car of Harry Potter related stuff. Mostly cards. Actually, I can show off all this stuff. I didn't bring any of this in because I was just like, all right, if the gig seemed like it was getting a little bit hairy, pun intended, hairy, then I could run to my car, grab all of my backup stuff. I ended up not needing to grab any of the backup stuff. So I was like, all right, this is great. It's fine. It's fine. So, okay, let's go ahead and get ready for um, family unit. Now, for anybody who has seen this trick before, you use all four suits and you kind of call them out separately. And the wonderful thing is there's four houses in Harry Potter. And so we kind of mapped informally the houses to a different suit. We chose hearts for Hufflepuff because H and H, and I think it thematically matches. We chose spades for Slytherin. Once again, S and S, but thematically also works out. And then we chose diamonds for Gryffindor and clubs for Ravenclaw. So we're gonna do this trick like that for this. So first things first, um, we do have all of the face cards, and what we are going to do with the face cards is, let me see here, just give them a little bit of a mix. I actually offered people to cut this packet if they would like, and then now we go into the sorting hat. So each one of these cards represents somebody that might be sorted into a specific house. And at first, we, the other students or teachers, don't know which house it's going to go into, but the sorting hat knows. And the sorting hat, and at this point, I had different people try and act as the sorting hat. So let's say they would go into I think yesterday, the first person chose the middle pile first. And so let's take a look, and at first glance, we think, oh, this person should go into Hufflepuff, right? And so, and now slowly the sorting hat will sort a couple more, but actually when we go and look, if we weren't paying attention to how the sorting hat sorted, that person was not Hufflepuff at all, and this is not the Hufflepuff house. This was actually the Ravenclaw house. Here's the Queen of Ravenclaw, the King of Ravenclaw, and the Jack of Ravenclaw. And then I think yesterday the second person chose the third packet next. And so, all right, let's go ahead and try and sorting hat. So here's a Slytherin. And so we think that that person goes into Slytherin. But as it turns out, when we go and try and figure out which house they ended up in, that was not actually the Slytherin household. That actually happens to be the Hufflepuff house. And here we've got the King of Hufflepuff, the Jack of Hufflepuff, and the Queen of Hufflepuff. And now I made a joke about the administrative office not having enough funding, and so they need to try and stack, or they need to try and force the next house so that they are correct and they know what they're doing. I told people that they could order these whichever way they wanted, like 2-1-3, 3-1-2, whatever. The person who was selected to do the randomization just said 1-2-3, and I'm like, okay, 1-2-3. So now we have a couple of houses left, so we're going to try and force this house. So here is Gryffindor. So diamond is Gryffindor. So we're going to try and put Gryffindor there. And then, of course, we're going to try and put Gryffindor there. And, of course, this Gryffindor there. And now when we try and check on the Gryffindor house, this was not actually the Gryffindor house. This happens to be House Slytherin. Here's the Queen of Slytherin, Jack of Slytherin, King of Slytherin. And then, of course, Gryffindor can't be without a house. But we do know that these are all Gryffindor house members. And so we have the Queen of Gryffindor, the King of Gryffindor, and the Jack of Gryffindor. And that, my friends, is Family Unit, but themed as Harry Potter sorting hat houses, poorly, and administrative not having much funding. So, but as you just noticed, these cards are not my normal cards. These happen to be the deck of Harry Potter cards. So this was in my backup in my car. So if I needed this, I actually had all 4 colors because one color for each house. I actually don't know which color corresponds to each house because it's not very clear. I mean, I could guess in this case red is Gryffindor, but otherwise, I don't know. I'm guessing maybe blue is Raven. No, yeah, blue has to be Ravenclaw, right? Because Slytherin's going to be green. I don't know. But there's no markings or anything on them to indicate which one corresponds to which house. But all the decks are the same minus the color difference. Thank you kindly for the claps. Charlie's Beats, Felden Kane, E-Room, Alstro Art, Adam, welcome in. How's it going, Adam? Thanks for the lull. One of my favorite emotes is me laughing. Okay, alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the gig. I do see, so you know what, there was an intermission during the gig, so maybe when I get to that point, I can do the next trick. So we'll do that. Oh, guys, if you've been sitting around for a while and if you're not hydrated, please feel free to hydrate. I'm having my indigo punch again today. I've actually found that I like having specifically indigo punch on Sundays because I don't know, I associate it with a good stream. What do you like with your live stream? Indigo punch. R. I don't know why this pirate. So, the gig was about half an hour out from where I lived, so I basically leave 50 minutes early, thinking that, oh, okay, I'm going to get there and I might get lost. I'm not entirely sure about the area, whatever. I get there, I make it there in like record time. So I'm like 23 minutes early for the gig, and I'm like, hey, I call the person who booked me. It's like, hey, I think I'm here, and I know I'm a little early, but I can just come in. And she was like, oh yeah, come on in. I'm like, okay, cool. So I go in, I find out it's not their house. They're just renting this B&B, but it basically is a mansion, right? Like it looks like a mansion. It's like 3 floors. Uh, the hangout area is huge. The kitchen is huge, and so the original booking was basically for a like walking around magic and like a short magic show. As it turns out, I basically ended up converting the entire 2 hours to basically one gigantic magic show. And I basically did what I would do here on stream, except I just theme stuff Harry Potter. And so I walk upstairs, I say hello, I'm Nam the magician. Um, I think she tries to introduce me to basically just the birthday girl, because I mean, honestly, at this point, that's literally the most important reason why I'm there, right? And I had prepared two two magic tricks for her specifically, and I'm not going to share names. I don't want to dox anybody, but I'll call her birthday girl, booking girl. um, there's a guy that I'll refer to as Shrek, and then we'll refer to another guy as Special. Not because okay, so let me explain. Let me explain. So Shrek, that's a nickname apparently, and then Special. It wasn't that he was special, but he was offering to make his. He would use his first name. Like if I was making it, I would say the Nam Special. Apparently, it's a very strong drink, and I was like, no, I shouldn't have anything because A, I'm driving back, and B, I had to explain my medical condition and gout and everything. But anyway, so I'll just refer to like those people, maybe a few other people, just a little bit. But for the most part, birthday girl, I did 4 card trick, and I had a message reveal, happy Harry Potter birthday at the end, and then I did the first trick I did was play it straight triumph, and that message was happy birthday, and then her name. And then I did the 4 card trick with the special message, "Happy Harry Potter birthday," and I drew a lightning bolt on it. And everybody was like, "That's a really good lightning bolt." That's also, and they were like, "That's a really cool detail." I'm like, "Thank you." I put a little bit of thought into it. I guess all that drawing of GipsonLens emotes helped me practice. So, but after that, oh, so now it became like a blur because I was just doing trick after trick. But if they would say something, I would either adjust the trick or like I would change the pattern to do that to play along with it. I didn't have like a set itinerary of the order of tricks. I was like, I want to do this one, I want to do this one, and I just kind of winged it a little bit, but I played off of the audience. So then I did the ambitious card, Wingardium Leviosa. I did Invisible Palm as the invisible cloak. I did do One-Eyed Jack Sandwich, but this one was not. I actually asked the birthday girl to basically call up volunteers to help with each trick. So I basically had her sign or do the first couple of tricks because they were for her, like specially. And then the rest, I had her basically call up one of her friends. And she called a person up, like the second person. She was like, oh yeah, let me call up such and such, my husband. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, crap, I was gonna do this other trick, but I'm like, wait, let me change, let me do this other one. I didn't say this out loud, I was just thinking these thoughts, but I'm like, let me do this other one and let me theme it so that it's about them as a couple. Elstro Art says, I always make a set list. Yeah, you know, I'm kind of, I was lucky that I had so much stuff to pull from that, like, I could literally have had them request tricks from mostly my trick list, and it probably would have been fine. But like the fact that I could like openly improvise and change things on the fly, that I was like, and like honestly, I'm mostly never going to be doing these Harry Potter tricks again unless somebody specifically asks, "Can you do this Harry Potter version of this thing?" Or like, "Hey, I'm having another Harry Potter themed party." I'm like, I'm probably not going to be doing that unless So like they're almost, I don't want to say throwaway tricks, but they're throwaway like performances, right? Like I can do it again. Like it's not a big deal. And in whatever order, like it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, like I talked with a bunch of other magicians, and here's the thing, right? You can't really mess with like stage magic that much. Like you can't really improvise with that because that requires like a lot of people doing a lot of things at the same time. You have schedules if it's multiple segments, especially with different magicians. But like I was basically just running the entire magic show on my own, so I could just do whatever I wanted, right? And so one of the coolest things was that as soon as I heard, oh, my husband, and I was like, oh, I can do a love, like a love themed trick. So immediately I changed the trick. I changed I did one-eyed Jack sandwich, and I used like the queens to represent her, and then the card that was selected was him. And eventually, I basically told a story about the deck being the dating pool, and how long it takes to meet somebody, and sometimes you might miss them, but then at the end you find that you are with the right. And honestly, everybody loved that. They really enjoyed like the story of that, and I think it meant a lot more to that couple than I think anybody else. But I was like, yes, nailed that one. So that was really good. Then I did Family Unit, which we just performed, um, and then I did Ace on Top because I just asked for, hey, is there anybody here who gambles or makes bets or wagers? They gave me somebody, but it wasn't like they bet a lot or anything. Um, and then I just showed them like, because they asked about like me, my family, or like I told them that I had a kid, and I showed them my Sharpie into my nose and take it out of my mouth, kind of thing. So it was like, like like that. So basically, that's what they saw, just to show them that that's the kind of magic that my kid is into right now. And then I did cards across and the three card trick because they both required counting, and it was right after like the betting one, and I was like, that was a very natural. But everybody loved like counting out loud, and the three card trick got lots of laughs. So I think they were both really good hard hitters. The one thing, the person that I had helping me for cards across told me at the end of the night that he saw me do the first phase where where we transferred the cards for the first one, but there's a second phase where you increase the number of cards a second time, and he had no idea when that happened. And I was like, at least we got that. But that was actually really good feedback, so now I can improve that. That's one of the tricks that I can't do, that I haven't done, that I can't really do on stream, because I need another person. I guess if I had another person here. Then I did coin matrix, the cardless coin matrix, and then I did show them the three wooden blocks. And I did do this for the birthday girl and the girl who booked me. And I just left it at that. The girl who booked me was super fooled and was like, "What? No way!" They were like, "Did you hypnotize me?" And I'm like, "No, no, none of this is hypnosis." Somebody else is like, "It's magnets," and I'm like, "Nah, it's not magnets." But then after that, I was like, "Okay, I'm not going to confirm or deny anymore." And but if you want to speak about your theories, that's perfectly fine because I love hearing them. And I hope that birthday girl is not listening to this, but if she is, so her theory that she stated out loud to everybody was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds plausible." And inside my head, and I'm like, "Oh my god, she nailed it!" Like she knew. And I'm like, "All right, but well done." Okay, and then from there we had an intermission because I was like, "Okay, I could do more show. I could, start doing walk around or whatever you guys want." And everybody was like, "Oh yeah, keep on doing more show." Because at that point, like when I first walked in, there was like 30 people, but people were like leaving because I guess the party had been going on for, I think, days because they had the Airbnb for like the weekend. So, um, but now they were like, "Oh yeah, you know what? Let's take a break and let's do cake." So they did the happy birthday, the cake, which, oh yeah, I've got to show you. So I didn't take any selfies because I don't think that that's like a professional gig thing. But when they told me about the cake, and I'm like, "Oh my god, guys, can I take a picture of the cake?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Hell yeah." I was like, "Okay, I've got to show you the picture." So there were actually two cakes. The first one, and apparently one of the girls there had stayed up really late, um, to make the cakes, and she said she bought an airbrush just to create one of the cakes, and I'm just like, that's hardcore. So the first cake is a um, it's a cake that splits up the cake into all 4 different houses. I did eat a piece of this cake because they instructed that I could not leave until I had a piece of this cake. So there's the first cake. And now the second cake, this cake is insane. Like, so if anybody is familiar with the Sorting Hat, here is the second cake. This thing was huge and was sitting in the kitchen, and I'm like, hell, that looks creepy. And somebody else was like, yeah, it does. And I'm like, well, that means it looks good, right? Because the real Sorting Hat. Yeah. Also, Art says I would feel weird eating that, and it's like, yeah, when they offered me, so first of all, I saw somebody cut into this, and there's literally like 5 or 6 layers in this thing from the bottom to the top. And somebody was like, "Oh yeah, if you don't want to eat that much cake, you just want the tip of the hat." And I'm like, "No, no, no, you can't just have the tip." And then everybody laughed. Everybody loved that joke. But man, this cake looked crazy, and I was like, I I'm not gonna suffer the wrath of a Sorting Hat if so. I just give me some of the house cake. It's just like, okay, all right. Um, let's see here. Let's go ahead and do the next trick. Trouble Backer is requested by Charlie's Beats. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. So here we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, and I just want to show you that these 2 are different from these 4. So these are red spot cards, and these are black face cards. Now, if we take a look on the back, these are all part of House. If red represented Gryffindor, right? They're all Gryffindor. However, if we go ahead and we actually have 2 very suspicious characters. In this case, the 2 black face cards, right? Let me just go ahead and place them down over here. Now, everybody else decides that they want to interrogate each one. And so here they go to interrogate this person, but actually found out that they have swapped places with one of the Inquisition. And so they were like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you over here? And it's like, oh, okay. And so now they're going to go ahead and try and question this person, the other black face card. But actually, if we take a look, they were not in this room either. They were actually out amongst the Inquisition. and so they have swapped places with one of those. Now, as we can tell over here, if we take a look, these are all students from either Hufflepuff or a Gryffindor, right? Because on the face, they're red suits, which we said Hearts was Hufflepuff, and we said that Diamonds was Gryffindor. And if we take a look on the backs, they are indeed red, which indicates, But if we take a look at the backs of these 2, actually, as it turns out, they were not of the correct house. They are Slytherin. And that, my friends, is maybe kind of a slightly improvised Harry Potter themed troublebacker. So, Kit Kat Gad, welcome in. How's it going? How are you doing today? Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you kindly for that request, Charlie's Beats. Hopefully you enjoyed. let's see. All through the night, I've been recapping a lecture, my time on my time on Facebook Marketplace, my first adult magic gig, which was a Harry Potter themed birthday party. Kit Kat says, "Doing well, deep in history." Ah, yes. Well, good luck with history. I hear that it likes to repeat itself. Good luck with history. I hear it likes to repeat itself. Good luck with history. I hear it likes to repeat itself. Good luck with history. I hear it likes to repeat itself. Okay, I think we're good. Kit Kat Cat says, ha ha ha. All right, awesome. I'm glad you guys like that. Feel free to clip that. I think that'll be fun. All right, that was Trouble Backers requested by Charlie's Beats. Thank you for that request. In the Matrix. I know, was that a glitch in the Matrix? All right, so Beth, kind of, sort of, welcome in. How's it going? I get it. Okay. History. I hear it likes to repeat itself. You know, the hardest thing for me to do was to do that the third time without like cracking up, and I was like, "Hold it together, Dom. You've got to deliver it almost the same way." um. Okay, so I was in the middle of talking about my Harry Potter gig and intermission or whatever. So we took a break, did cake time. During that time, I did do a couple of tricks walk around, but I did Hellman's Aces and the two card Monty. Be honest, what is it? Two card Monty was very hard hitting with the. So I did it to one person, but there was about a group of three people that saw it. And then Hellman's Aces, I basically just did that for a couple, and it maybe with one other person seeing that. So I guess another small group of three people. So and then when we got to part two, I started with the interactive opener, which it says opener in the name. I should have done it earlier probably, but it's okay. It was the first one that I did during like after the intermission or the break to eat cake. Um, then I did Chicago opener. I'm like, well, might as well. I did have a unfavorable table seating for interactive opener. I mean, it wasn't unfavorable for that trick, but I realized, oh no, it's very bad for basically every other trick. So I was like, hey, could I sit over here? I was like, okay, fine. So I did the Chicago opener, and this was cool. I was planning on doing some other like Harry Potter stuff with it, but they had Harry Potter props on the table, and I was like, these are Harry Potter glasses. You know, I can show you what it looks. And I did the Chicago opener. This is the one where you have a card selected, they lose it in the deck, and then it turns red. And then I have another card selected, and I'm trying to turn a second card red, but actually it doesn't work out because we can't find another card that's red. But the first card that was red, I point to, and I'm like, that's. And then they turned over, and it is also the second card. So, but I used Harry Potter's glasses, their prop, as part of this trick, saying, "Oh, when you're a magician, you can see things like a magician when you use another magician's glasses." And I was using Harry Potter's glasses. And I was like, that's brilliant. So that was something that I basically ad-libbed while I was there. And then I did lie detector. Um, and then I did back illusion. And then I did dazed with the mirror. You guys saw that one earlier. And then I did traveling man and trading kings as a combo. That was with the vanishing cabinet thing. And then it worked out that people thought that trading kings it was the same cards, but it wasn't. So that worked out. And then somebody asked, like, can you show us what the first card trick that you learned? And I'm like, oh, okay. There's like two card tricks. And I showed them both of them, and they were still like floored and very impressed. And I'm like, okay, those were the ones that I learned first, and they were like childhood. Then I did a finale trick, but earlier in the night, special, asked, "Hey, what's your favorite trick or something?" And I was like, "Oh," and it was probably I had to tell them Picasso Aces. You guys know how much I love that trick, and so I told him I normally like to do that as a closer. So you know what? Remind me at the end. I'll do that for the final trick. I did that, and then I hung out and ate cake, and then I ended up doing like one other one, like a walk around just for like a small group, because I was there and they asked the question like, "Do you have to, do you buy special decks or something?" And I'm like, "You don't have to, but you can." And so anyway, I walked away from that gig, and they actually were. I did give out some business cards, and um, they were very grateful and thankful, and they were like, "Wow, you were awesome. We had so much fun." And you know what? I think I was made for this gig because I don't know anybody else who would tailor their tricks to be Harry Potter themed. So, um, or at least if there is, they're hard to find. Like, not every magician can just change tricks like on the fly. So, but yeah, that is that. Anyway, if anybody would like to request any tricks, the queue is open. Um, in the meantime, I can go ahead and let's see, what do I want to do? I can do my coin matrix combo. Oh, I guess we're in the middle of an ad. Sorry, I've just been continuing my story through the ad. I know that some people can hear me because there's a bunch of people who are subbed. So let me go ahead and coin matrix and cardless coin matrix. Okay. All right. So overall, very successful gig. They they were asking if they could tip me basically that night, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, you can. So I'm not gonna say no. But yeah, it was a good time. If every gig went like that, I would be like, every gig is awesome. Now we can break out into the Lego. Every gig is awesome. So in about 2 weeks, I have another gig. This was the reschedule from the last week, and then I got a potential lead for a gig about like the weekend before Christmas. Um, so we'll see if that one gets booked. I did get a gig booked in January for a retirement home. And then I have another library gig. This one's a different library, but just to do a show. And that's in February. So I'm going to try and I'm going to continue applying to jobs. I'm going to continue trying to get magic gigs. I'm going to continue trying to push things like Twitch and YouTube. And I've actually been a little bit. I've been slacking on my intentions for TikTok. Not that I don't like TikTok, but I'm just not like hanging out on it. So, but I do have ambitions because like I realize that there's like an entire demographic of people that might not be exposed to me unless I do some stuff on TikTok. So I'm doing some stuff on TikTok. Okay, all right. I think the ad break should hopefully be done now. So let me see if I can. Okay, here we go. We'll use the Mark Rober Crunch Lab coins because I have them now. So why not? All right, here we go. Coin Matrix. Oh, and I did talk about Star Trek while doing this trick because I was like, all right, we've done a lot of Harry Potter for a minute. Let me see if there's any Star Trek fans. And there were a couple, but not as many as I think I would have expected. I almost feel like people who are into Harry Potter, they could also be into Star Trek. But anyway, and then I did ask the quiz question like, oh, do you know what the device that moves things from one place to another in Star Trek is called? The transporter. Yeah. So, and when they saw this, they were like, "What?" And then everybody was basically like, "What?" when I did the second one. And then when I finally did the last one, I got a lot of good reactions when I did that one. And then finally, when I was like, you could totally do this trick also without any cards, and I did this. And I don't think they were that impressed at this point because they were like, wait, there's something fishy going on. And then I told them, now I like to do this new finale. I basically just do it the same way that I do it on stream. And I didn't do the Mortal Kombat thing, though. 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. And then as soon as I did this, they were like, what? There was no coming back from this. They were like, there's no way. So that was a great reaction for the end of that. I did another interesting thing. Double Tribble, welcome in. How's it going? Thank you kindly for the claps. Guys, you're not following our friend Double Tribble. Please give Double Tribble a follow. Good to see you, Ron. Hopefully you're doing well. I was just recapping my gig. So it was my first adult magic gig. And I was about to tell everybody, so about 3/4 of the way in to the gig. So it was basically like half an hour, and that was basically, scot-free. Somebody asked, oh, hey, how long have you been doing magic? And I'm like, oh. And then I told them, and they were like expecting me to have done magic for like, 20, 30 years since I was a kid, And I told them, no, not that long. It's like 2019. And they were like, what? Like everybody was. And then, of course, some natural progression questions to be like, um, oh man, how long have you been doing? Oh no, they asked, oh, you must have some crazy stories doing so many gigs, and then this might have been a mistake, but I think it was okay. I mean, I had been sitting and doing magic for them for like 90 minutes, so I was like, okay, I felt comfortable telling them this, but I told them, actually, this was my first adult magic gig, third paid gig ever, like, and everybody was like, what? No. And then they were like, you were born to do this. And I'm just like, I mean, I don't think I was born to do this, but I think I could handle doing it after doing, what are we on? Magic Stream 170 something? Like, it's a lot of Magic Streams. So, but yeah, they were all very surprised at that. And I told them about my first 2 gigs, um, the library thing and then the kid birthday party. But yeah, I think most people probably wouldn't have mentioned that. But, I was like, nah, this is me. I'm I am this guy. And then I told them, so I'm currently unemployed. I mean, doing the professional magic thing is probably the closest thing that I have to employment right now. So, yeah, I told them that. And they all had like, they thought that what I was doing was magic, not with the tricks, but also with the magic gigs and all that. And they were like, what? No way. And I was like, yep, it's true. And I know you guys know it's true, but obviously you guys know that my experience comes from doing this. I also try and show people magic in real life. So, um, yeah. Thank you kindly for the claps, Bert. I think I saw you in earlier, but I don't know if we actually got your shout out. Guys, you're not following our friend and mod GipsonLens. Please give GipsonLens a follow. By the way, if you guys didn't know, GipsonLens' birthday was yesterday. No, 2 days ago. Sorry. I was like, wait, I had the gig yesterday. No, 2 days ago. So feel free to wish GipsonLens a belated happy birthday. Let's see here. So yeah, I would say the gig went very well, especially considering I told them that it was my first adult paid gig. So I was like, okay, glorious. Um, I think I talked about basically everything I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, so I don't see any requests in the queue. So if anybody wants to see more magic, feel free to request. E-Room, thank you so much for the 5 stream watch streak. Thank you so much, E-Room. So, all of the props that I had in my car, just in case I needed to entertain longer, here we have Harry Potter playing cards for magic tricks. So, this box contains a bunch of magic tricks. I don't think there's that many, it's like 7 or 8 or so. But there's some of them are specially made cards, and you immediately know that it's all sus. But I went through it like one day, like months ago, and I'm like, oh, these are all easy tricks. I do like better versions of these tricks on, with other stuff. Oh yeah, and then of course I did show you all 4. I had all of these in the car just in case I needed Harry Potter decks of cards. Didn't need to bring them in, but I think it would have been cool to bring them in. But like these are like premium decks, and it's like I don't want to accidentally like damage them or anything. So that's the problem with like bringing personal stuff to a paid gig, where it's like, all right, whatever people want to do, they might do. I have these cards. Um, I've lost the boxes, or maybe the boxes didn't exist. But this is Harry Potter Gnome Toss, which is like a card game. These cards are very poor quality, and they all look pretty horrifying. They're just different gnomes, um, different colors, arrows, and things. So there you go. But yeah, I don't understand. Like, this could literally be themed to anything. I don't think it has to be like a Harry Potter thing. I didn't even read the rules. I didn't think it would be worth it. But I have them. They are here. And then so these cards are a little bit Harry Potter Quidditch. And this at least is relevant to the game Quidditch from the movies and presumably the books. And there's things that matter. Like, it looks like there's a number on them, and there's like texts, and like this seems almost like a real game. So, and there's 3 kinds of colors of cards. So like one person gets the Slytherin deck, one person gets the Gryffindor deck, and then these are like neutral cards, which are like pitch cards. So it's like you throw a specific thing, and then you see what somebody can act. It's like this one almost seems like it could be a decent game. These cards are probably about the same quality as this, but these cards were actually bad. These ones actually like feel newer. Like I think I bought this one brand new. I think this one I got used or something. But these I could conceivably do a trick with. I think if the backs were the same. And then the last thing, and this was one of the things that I picked up at the super sale, which I don't think I showed off, but I should show off now. So this is a box that has all of the Harry Potter houses. When you open it, it basically looks like a game. And there were no rules for this, but it just had a bunch of stuff related to Quidditch. So it's like broomstick, wand, potion, cauldron, and then like chaser, beater. So this is like alternate seeker and keeper. So like all terminology related to Quidditch in Harry Potter. So this one's called Catch the Golden Snitch. Now the cool thing about this is that we have a golden snitch here, and then I forget which one's a beater and which one's a quaffle, but apparently there's these little triggers where if randomly, if you insert these into the box, there's some unknown number of clicks that will then trigger the snitch to jump up, and if you catch it, um, catching the golden snitch is like a really powerful thing in the game of Quidditch. And I don't know if you saw, but it just popped right out. There you go. I did catch it too, so that was good. That was good. So that's cool. But yeah, I didn't have to bring that. To be honest, I didn't really have a trick for this. It would have just been a fun prop, but I did come prepared. Thank you kindly for the applause, E-Room. But yeah, I did go prepared to the gig with Harry Potter stuff just in case I needed it. But I didn't need any of that. I was just able to entertain with magic and the magic stuff I prepared, so it was all perfect. I think it would have been cool to show off this stuff, but yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to risk, the stuff, basically. And so there we have it. I also realized, everybody, that this is the week going into Thanksgiving. So if you celebrate Thanksgiving, everybody remember to have a safe and wonderful Thanksgiving. My mom is coming to visit from out of town, and I don't know what I'm going to necessarily be doing on Sunday night. I'm going to try and have stream, but there is a chance that I may not have stream. We'll see, uh, and we'll go from there. But if I don't have stream, then I'll try and make it up. I don't know if I'll try and maybe I'll preemptively try and have a stream as well, and then whether I have it on Sunday or not. And then if not, I'll definitely do a makeup one after. But that's the plan. So, all right, let's see here. BayJB says, "What if I want to have a reckless Thanksgiving?" I mean, BayJB, uh, look, nobody tells you how to live your life but you, okay? However, if something dangerous or legally liability thing happens, I guess that was just a disclaimer for me. So, so you do you, Bay. You do you. I mean, you're an adult, I presume. So make decisions for your own life. Nobody can tell you how to live your life except for you. I mean, other people can try, and there are people who do, but you don't have to listen to them. You can choose to listen to them. I'm just being cheeky, and yes, I'm an adult. Okay, okay, cool. That's that was my guess. I honestly think between the time that I stream and the conversations I have with some people, I mean, we've had a couple of people in here that I'm like, oh, I think you are a child, and you're being a bratty teenager or something, and I'm like, we don't want you here or whatever. I don't think we outright said that, but I was thinking in my head like, man, you're being very rude right now. Get out. Like, okay, let's see here. I have not done that much magic tonight. I've talked a lot about magic, but let's get a random one in here. Oh, the Chicago opener. So there was a tricky thing getting ready for this one, because when they see a magician sitting at a table and I'm literally just reaching into like five different pockets or whatever, it's like, oh, already immediately sus, and I'm just still like, man, which pocket did I have these cards in? I don't know. Like, so sometimes it is sometimes it is rough. But ultimately, I think just knowing what I want to do and like how to achieve it, the night was flowing very well, and so I was impressed with myself too. Oh yeah, let me wait for the ad break. I'm gonna give myself some homework. I need I need to see, and I've seen other people have it, like when an break is done, to also give a message. Stream notes. Okay, here we go. Homework. Welcome back, Double Tribble. Thank you for letting me know. Can get a stream message for when ad is done. Okay, cool. I've seen other people have it, so it must exist. All right, excellent. Oh, so this trick, when I did it, this was the one I did for the Harry Potter glasses. So actually, I'll do this. Oh, I don't have another pair of glasses down here. I'll just have to use a prop, and I pretended, so I'll do it the way that I did it there. Okay, so all right, here we go. So if I had a spectator, I basically just fanned out the deck, had a spectator touch the back of a card, pull it out, and they could take a look at it. I'm going to close my eyes, turn my head. They will remember it. They showed it around. The one thing I had to ask during the entire gig was, oh, is it safe for me to look again? Can I turn my head back? And so, all right, hopefully somebody's got that. I'm going to go ahead and open my eyes, turn my head back. All right. And I tell them, go ahead and just lose it in the deck right here. So they lose it in the deck right there. And I told them that, let's pretend this is the Harry Potter glasses that were on the table last night. You know, with these glasses, I want to show you what I can see. And you'll be able to see it too through the lens of a pair of magician's glasses. And so if I just go ahead and I hold the glasses just over the deck like this, you'll be able to see your card. And as soon as I spread, they were like, oh, what's different? And I was like, that's right. And then at this point, I asked, okay, go ahead and tell me, what was your card? They would tell me their card. In this case, I believe the card was the 8 of spades. Right? Hopefully that's correct. Nobody's giving any feedback in chat, so I just assume. But in which case, now I just go ahead and I tell them, okay, so you just saw how that looked, and we can go ahead and we can do that again. So let's go ahead and told them to touch the bottom, the back of any card here. So maybe this one. They could change to this one, whatnot. But then I showed them this card. 8 of spades is double trouble. Excellent. That was a good one. Okay. So now I'm going to close my eyes, turn my head, and I'm going to show you the card that they touched. There we go. Hopefully we can see that. And then we're going to close that up. Thank you, double triple, for the 8 of spades there. I'm going to open my eyes, turn my head back, and now I'm going to use Harry Potter's glasses and tell them, all right, I'm going to let you see what magicians see. And at this point, I spread the deck, and I'm like, wait, did we use the glasses correctly? Hold on. So then I scooped it back up. I did it again, and then I tell them, oh, you're supposed to see a red card in here. Do you guys see a red card? And just like clockwork, somebody in the audience was like, I see a red card. And as soon as somebody did that, I was like, well, wait, let's take a look. And we turned this over. And I imagine that your second selection, what was it? I believe it was the 5 of hearts. And then I believe they loved that. I believe that this trick went over very well. And so, and then Harry Potter's glasses, and then boom, there you go. Thank you kindly for the claps. Double triple, Felden Kane. Thank you kindly for the claps. And I just realized that my phone just went off, and I should have my notifications silenced. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-room, clap, 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 clap. Wait. Clap, 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 clap. Is that what you're going for, E-room? Because that's almost what it looks like. Clap, 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 clap. Yeah, right on cue. E-Room's like, yep, Holiday Santa. There we go. Lol. Clap, 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 clap. Clap, 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 clap. I felt like I should have at least finished the song. We don't want to leave anybody hanging, right? Like, all right. Okay, so let's see here. Um, you know what? I do want to do invisible palm because I can also do. Whoops, not that one. Because I can do that the same way that I did it as the gig. I also realized I haven't done that many magic tricks tonight, so like, I should probably do some. Okay. So here, how many cards do we have here? And I had them count, and like they were like 4. Okay, perfect. So here's what we're going to do with these 4 cards. I'm going to show you how the invisibility cloak works. And so I told them there's an invisibility cloak on my hand, and sometimes if I put on the invisibility cloak, but it's not on perfectly, you might be able to see parts of things that are hiding underneath, like right now, because maybe I didn't cover up my ankle or didn't cover up like an elbow or something, right? But trust me when I say that if you put on the invisibility cloak correctly, even if you turn around 360 degrees, I mean, I know in this case it's like 180, but you won't be able to see it. It's not that, you're not there, it's just that the invisibility cloak, that's the hardest part, saying invisibility, is still there. And, you won't be able to see anything until you decide to take off the invisibility cloak. And that's when you'll be able to see what was underneath. Right? I know. Crazy. Now, you can obviously take it off, but then you can also put it back on. Once again, if you don't fully cover everything, you might see like a flash of an ankle, you might see a little part of your body that's not covered. But then if we go ahead and put on the invisibility cloak correctly, you still won't be able to see, and the person who's underneath won't want you to see, not until they take off the invisibility cloak. And I don't know if you know, but that's where they are. Now, here, if I show you, we've got a king of clubs. So I'm going to leave we're going to leave the king of clubs over here. And here's the other cards. And I'm going to take the king of clubs, and we'll put on the invisibility cloak from the deck. Okay. And so here you can still see that the king of clubs is right there. And let's just go ahead and put the invisibility cloak on. And I don't know if you could tell, but now I have the invisibility cloak on. Man, I think I had trouble saying invisibility last night as well. But it's not until they take off the invisibility cloak is when you'll be able to see them, right? So there we go. And now, of course, we knew what these cards were, but it's not truly the invisibility cloak unless you know that it's the exact same. In this case, king of clubs. That went from over there to over here. And that, my friends, is the invisible palm, but themed as the invisibility cloak from Harry Potter. Thank you kindly for the claps. Double, triple, Felden Kane, E-Room. I may make this one a boss trick, although maybe I was distracted by the Harry Potter story, but I almost messed up. Almost. I don't think I gave anything away, but if anybody saw anything sus, that's okay. You saw it. But maybe you didn't. I think maybe it was covered, but I never know. I very I the Trek nerd, welcome in. How's it going, the Trek nerd? I see all the sus. That says the Trek nerd. Welcome in, the Trek Nerd. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Good to see you. Guys, you're not following our friend the Trek Nerd. Please give the Trek Nerd a follow. All right. Okay, I've done very few tricks relative to how long I normally stream, but it's about that time. But we did recap a magic lecture, my first adult magic gig, my first experiences with Facebook Marketplace, and yeah, prior to this, I had not used Facebook Marketplace before, so it's all new to me. But yeah, so let's do a last call. If anybody wants to request any more magic, now's a good time. Between the list being empty and then we're thinking about ending soon. So the reason why I might be kind of like less inclined to go long tonight is because I still haven't done my Monday magic uh, YouTube video. So that would be the other reason. So basically, as soon as I end, I'm like, all right, find a trick, record it, put it up, and then we'll have it go up tomorrow. But yeah, I talked about all the important stuff. I think at least all the important stuff as far as like the magic stuff I wanted to talk about on stream. So yeah, that's that. There is going to be a chance that next month, by next month I mean December, that I may try and stream every weekday. There's a chance. I don't know how likely I'm going to be able to do it. It'll probably be more likely like 3 or 4 days during the week if I decide to take it up. But um, yeah, I've had a lot of weird projects and things going on, and then like family business, and then like me starting the gigs for Magic, and like the last 2 weeks I've just been like prepping Magic gigs stuff, and I'm feeling more comfortable with it now that I've done three. So it's like how so like I don't so a bunch of things, for example, like sending out quotes and like getting signatures, sending invoices, that kind of thing. Most of the work is done because I have templates for everything now, whereas before I did not. So I was just spending time doing like that kind of stuff. But now, like whether I get gigs through Gig Salad or if I get gigs like through outside of Gig Salad, um, I'm more equipped now, so I don't have to spend as much time doing like putting together templates for wordings to like send out to potential clients or anything like that. So that's good. I'm still applying to technology jobs, so I applied to like I don't know, like a couple dozen last couple weeks. So we'll see how those go. But let's see if we are if nobody wants to request anything, I'll still do a finale trick. So we'll still get something in there. Let me just find what do I want to perform as a finale. Um, I think I'm feeling like this one today. So let me put that in there. All right. Yeah, if anybody hasn't requested anything uh, by the time I close the queue, then we'll just wrap up. So let me see. Before we do that, let me open up a window. Oh, no. Echoing myself. There we go. Let me see who is streaming. Just give me some idea where we can go. I think some of the usual suspects are not on. I do know that some people streamed last night. Oh, hold on. I see. Did a game come out? Did a game come out called Arc Raiders? Cause I see multiple people playing it. Is it new, or is that just an old game and people are like, all right, okay, we do have a couple of possible targets. So, all right, excellent. It's new, says Bay. All right. Well, thanks for letting me know, because I'm okay. That explains it. That would have been my guess just based on the number of people playing it in my list. We're taking a quick ad break. All right. Okay. Oh, if I time the 90 seconds, we can. Well, I guess I'm glad that it happened now and not during the trick. So let me see. So in the interim here, when was the last time? I know we rated this person not too long ago. I've got to pull up my spreadsheet. Hang on. For potential raids. Where's my spreadsheet? Where's my window? There it is. Oh, I also forgot to mention that. Um, Hold on. Did I put a thing for it? So yeah, I secretly have a Patreon open already. I haven't done an announcement video or anything, but I started linking to it from like every other video. And I don't know if Alstro Art is still here, but Alstro Art, if you're still here, thank you very much. I wanted to thank Alstro Art specifically because Alstro Art has become my first patron on Patreon officially. So someone who is not just like a free member, but so thank you very much, Alstro Art, for supporting me on Patreon. I greatly appreciate it, and I think how much I've described, like, my struggles the last few months of. First of all, it's kind of dumb where there's so many people looking for software jobs, and there are apparently fewer jobs, but I don't know. So kind of waiting out to see, but I was like, let me see where I can do this, and I got my gear, I got my button gear, and was like, let me just push all the social media, let me do all the things. I'm not even done setting up my Patreon, but basically, if anybody wants to watch any of my YouTube videos without any ads, that's probably the best place. AI is doing all the coding now, says Double Triple. That's unfortunately, I mean, not doing all of it, but yeah, doing like a lot of it. Like, so, um, all right, let's see here. Well, thank you for letting me know you're back, Double Triple. And let me see here. I was just gonna check to see. Let's see, when did we raid out to this person? We raided out to this person back in September. It's been a couple months. Then this other person we just raided a couple weeks ago. All right, so I may have a target in mind. All right, cool. So hopefully they're still on after we do this trick. But anyway, thank you so much for everybody coming out and hanging out with me tonight. Thank you so much for, I know I did a lot less magic and we talked way more about magic this week than most weeks. Because looking at the number of tricks I did for like the amount of time I was streaming is very little. So, but thank you so much for coming out. If whether you chatted in chat, requested a trick, um, did a sound alert, anything like that. Thank you so much. If it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't be as much fun for me. And also, thank you to all the lurkers out there, because magic is one of those rare art forms where if I'm just practicing magic at home, there's no magic happening. The magic has to happen in your mind. Um, Thank you to our mods, guys. We saw all of our mods today. If you are not following our friends and mods, Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. Chan the Magic Man is a fellow magician and Twitch streamer. Give him a follow. Catch him on Magic Mondays, where he will also do magic tricks on Mondays. If you catch him other times, he's playing retro games, community games, Grand Theft Auto, maybe cooking, maybe things in real life, all sorts of things. Chan is like all over the place. He is also a musician, writes his own music, and makes his own music videos. So give Chan a follow. Guys, you're not following our friend the Rusty Panda and mod. Please give the Rusty Panda a follow. The Rusty Panda is a streamer that has done like unique interview streams They are called Wiki Wednesdays, and so you can definitely check the Rusty Panda out for that. And then, guys, if you're not following our friend and mod GipsonLens, please give GipsonLens a follow. GipsonLens, pianist, composer, created a bunch of his own originals, released his first album earlier this year. Pretty soon I'm going to be saying released his first album last year because, it'll be January soon. But also, it was GipsonLens' birthday a couple days ago, so definitely. Smiling Days, welcome in. How's it going, Smiling Days? What's up? Nothing much. I mean, that's a lie, a lot, but I just talked about it like a lot on stream. But yeah, in the last 2 weeks, I had 3 magic gigs, and and we had a magic lecture, and I told people how I created a magic show that revolved around Harry Potter, and it was like, so. Smiling Days says, I'm really good. I'm glad to hear that you're doing really well, Smiling Days. Guys, you're not following our friend Smiling Days. Please give Smiling Days a follow. But yeah, if you're, and also give some mod love to our mods. So, um, guys, if you want to see more of me, more magic, and I'm not around, definitely check out my YouTube. I have over 300 magic tricks. I recently hit 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. That was a great milestone. Thanks for the shout out. You're welcome, Smiling Days. Thanks for stopping by. Also, if you want to see any of the VODs will be put up on this other channel, and so feel free to check those out. Also, if you're so inclined, my next push. So the reason why I'm thinking about streaming like many days in December is that I'm very close to getting 1,000 followers on Twitch. So I'm like, that would be a good time to push for. And also, I have a bunch of promo, promo time to use too that I have not been using. So that would be the other reason. But that's a reminder for anybody who is a Twitch affiliate. Like, please remember to use your promotion time before the end of the year, because it's going to reset at the end of the year, and then you'll just have a brand new time for 2026. So if you haven't used it, this is your warning, I guess. Not that Twitch hasn't also warned you, I'm sure, but okay. And then let's see. With all of that, I'm going to go ahead and if you didn't know, I'm going to try and do this finale trick. And if I don't do this finale trick, I don't like ending on a trick that I mess up on. So we would do another finale trick. Although, let's fingers crossed I just do it. So anyway, I think that did I? Oh yeah, thank you so much for all the support today. Everybody who gave me support during that hype train. We had a hype train like literally right away. So Andrew War, Iceflame X, Malhaku, Felden Kane, Elstro Art, Bay 8 JMB. Thank you guys for all the support today. Sapphire Stern, welcome in. How's it going? I have one trick, the finale trick to do, and then we'll probably be getting out of here. So if you fingers crossed, if you want to see more magic, hope I mess up. The trick is probably the best way. So, okay. All right. Here we go. So I have a packet of 1, 2, 3, 4 cards here, and they are the 4 aces. So here we've got a red ace, and then over here we've got a red ace. So now here's what I'm going to do. Or just go to your YouTube channel. Oh, thank you, Sapphire. Greatly appreciate it. Yes, please. Now we've got the 2 black aces over here. But look, what if I go ahead and I grab the 2 red aces from this hand and I place them into this hand over here? Now if I show you, look, if I show you, we have the 2 red aces over here. But the question is, what happened to the black aces? A lot of people think that they're right here. But remember, what I just did was I grabbed the red aces and put them here. So it should have just overwrote them, right? And so, but here's the thing. What happens when we look here? If I show you, there's no aces here because I literally just removed them and put them in here. Well, what happens if I take the red aces now and I just blow them away? Well, I don't know if you know, but now none of the cards have any aces, and that is what I would call a successful performance. And we'll call that a successful finale. Thank you kindly for the claps. Sapphire Stern, Double Triple, E-Room. Yeah, also I'm not sure how some of the other magicians do it, but I keep all of my VODs up and available. So if you missed stuff earlier in the VOD and you wanted to get... So admittedly, there wasn't that much magic earlier tonight. I talked about a lot of magic stuff, but I didn't do as many tricks as I normally do. So if that was anything anybody was interested in, feel free. But thank you kindly for the claps. Sapphire Stern, Double Tribble, E-Room, Feldenkane, Malhaku. Oh, Feldenkane! I have forgotten to flash the Felden's canes on the screen. Gotta show them for Feldenkane. There you go. But anyway, it's wonderful seeing everybody tonight. Thank you for stopping by, coming out to hang out. So let me just double check and make sure that the person that I was thinking about rating is still there. Okay, looks like the answer might be yes. He's been streaming for 2-ish hours. Okay. So, all right, I've decided that we will be raiding our friend Bert the Wayfarer. So, if you remembered a couple months ago, Bert the Wayfarer was playing FTL, and I was like, somebody's playing FTL? And I was like, okay, let's go over there. Went over there. He told me about this new mod. Well, it's not a new mod. I guess the mod's been out for a while, but it's called FTL Multiverse, and it basically like expands the game. Like the original game had like maybe a dozen ships and like uh, 7 like alien species and like so many. The game mod expands the game. There's like hundreds of new events, a few more alien species, like dozens upon dozens of new ships, and I'm like, and now I'm obsessed. I would like to play it more, but I haven't. But anyway, so tonight he's playing Blueprints, which I know I would like. I just haven't had time to get it and play it. All of my board game friends have played it. They've talked about it. They haven't created like a separate channel because they're like, oh, let's not spoil anything for Nam. It's like, so we're gonna go over there. I don't think me seeing part of a puzzle. Malhaku says you will love, love, love Blueprints. See, I know. Full disclosure, Malhaku also used to hang out with the same board game friends, so I know that he knows that that opinion is true. I would love it. The level to which it is you, code it. Absolutely. So we're going to be rating our friend. I need to look this up. Oh yeah, it's called Blueprints. And as soon as you get into the game, it's like it's imagine it. So I know a little bit about it, but it's imagine like a tile laying board game. So when you enter a new room, you're given a choice of what rooms to go into, and each room has a puzzle in it, potentially, or clues for another puzzle, or maybe it links to other rooms or whatever. But like the goal is to, well, when you're told at the beginning, the goal is to find the 46th room or something, and there's only like 45 slots for rooms. So it's like, where is this mysterious room? And that's the basic premise. So Malhaku says, "What if Betrayal in the House on the Hill was a roguelike and also British mystery novel?" I mean, from from what I understand about the game, that's like a very good description. So, especially also if you liked things like um, Mist or Riven, like back in the day, it's kind of like that, but maybe more accessible. And it's not just like one solution. Well, I think it is knowledge based. From what I'm told, if you once you learn the solution for a particular puzzle, you'll know how to get through that particular puzzle. But each room may have more than one puzzle. That's Blueprints. Yep, a little bit of Mist, a little bit of Outer Wilds. Oh yes, I've not played enough Outer Wilds. I played a little bit, and I have not. So anyway, maybe one day I'll play that. Maybe one day in December. Who knows? All right. So, all right. So that's where we're going to. We're going to our friend Bert the Wayfarer. So let me see here. So if you guys want to copy a raid call, there's a raid call. Here's a sub raid call, and then I don't know if you know, Outer Wilds is my absolute favorite game, and no other game is even close. Okay. That I didn't know it was your absolute favorite game. I think I knew you liked it, but let's see. We are raiding our friend Bert the Wayfarer. Let me start the raid officially, and then let me copy a raid call. But yes, so that's where we're going. Just making sure that works. Okay, cool. And then Malku says, but then it is extremely me coded. Yep, there you go. So, all right, everybody. Great seeing everybody, and thank you for listening to me chat about magic. Um, so great seeing you all. Remember to take care. Remember to hydrate. Remember to stretch. Remember to sleep well, because we all know that it's hard to get good sleep nowadays. And also, you guys have a glorious day, night, or wherever time zone. So, all right, bye.